Jaws is one of the most famous movies ever made, but behind the scenes, it was a total disaster, filled with weird accidents, malfunctioning sharks, hidden injuries, and strange production secrets that nobody expected. Here are some weird and amazing facts about this movie. Number 1. The mechanical shark sank on its first day of filming. The crew spent months building a full-size mechanical shark they named Bruce, but when they placed it in the water for the very first test, the entire thing instantly sank to the bottom of the ocean. Salt water rushed inside and destroyed its controls. It took divers hours to pull it back up, and the entire crew stood silently watching their most expensive prop drown. This disaster forced the team to completely rethink how they filmed the shark, which ended up making the movie scarier. And that sinking problem was only the beginning. Number 2. The movie was supposed to show the shark much more. Originally, the shark was meant to appear in many scenes, but because the robot shark kept breaking, Steven Spielberg had no choice but to hide it for most of the movie. This accident turned out to be a blessing. The less the audience saw it, the more terrifying it became. Spielberg later said the broken shark directed the movie for him. But the filming problems didn't stop there. Number 3. The famous scream in the opening scene was completely real. In the opening attack, actress Susan Backlinie was strapped to hidden ropes attached to crew members on each side of the water. Their job was to yank her left and right to simulate a shark dragging her under, but the crew pulled with way more force than expected. Instead of a controlled back and forth motion, Backlinie was violently whipped across the surface, leaving her genuinely terrified and in real pain. Her screams weren't acting at all, they were raw reactions. Spielberg didn't need retakes or extra audio because everything captured on camera was already intense and authentic. She later admitted the experience felt like she was being torn in half by the water. And another stunt would prove just as dangerous. Number 4. A real shark was used in one scene, and it nearly ended badly. For the cage diving sequence, the production wanted real shark footage to add authenticity. They filmed in Australia with professional shark photographers, using a smaller than normal cage and a shorter stuntman to make the great white look absolutely massive on screen. But nature doesn't follow scripts. During shooting, a giant great white shark unexpectedly charged the cage and slammed into it with terrifying power, bending the bars like they were made of tinfoil. In a stroke of pure luck, the stuntman wasn't inside at the time. He had stepped out just minutes earlier. The violent hit would have likely killed him. Spielberg was so stunned by how real and chaotic the footage looked that he immediately decided to include it in the final film. And one actor went through something even more painful. Number 5. Richard Dreyfuss was terrified of real sharks during filming. Dreyfuss, who played Hooper, admitted he had a deep fear of sharks before the movie even started. While filming the cage scenes, he refused to go near the water until he knew the shark footage was safe. He later said being part of Jaws was the worst possible job for someone who fears sharks, but it also helped him overcome that fear. But the ocean brought even more trouble. Number 6. The ocean waves ruined shots every few minutes. Movies are normally filmed in controlled tanks, not open oceans. But Spielberg insisted on filming at sea. This caused huge problems. The boats rocked up and down, the cameras tilted constantly, and some actors got seasick during scenes. Waves even pushed filming equipment off the boat. Spielberg said it was like trying to shoot a movie while riding a wild bull. And the sea even affected the actors. Number 7. Robert Shaw filmed many scenes completely drunk.
Mary Ellen Moffat. She broke my heart.
Robert Shaw, who played Quint, struggled with alcohol during filming. In some scenes, especially the ones on the boat, he was so drunk that the crew couldn't record usable audio. Spielberg let him return the next day to redo the scene sober. Shockingly, some of his best lines came from moments when he was half drunk, giving his character a rough, realistic edge. And speaking of that story, number 8. The USS Indianapolis speech was written the night before the shooting.
And screaming. Sometimes the shark go away.
One of the most powerful scenes in the movie, the Indianapolis monologue, was barely written in time. Several writers tried different versions, but none felt right. The night before shooting, Robert Shaw rewrote most of it himself, adding the emotional lines that made the speech iconic. Spielberg later said Shaw's version was a gift to the movie, but some details were much stranger. Number 9. The shark's roar was actually a lion's roar. Sharks don't roar in real life, but the filmmakers wanted a dramatic sound when the shark attacks the cage. So the sound team recorded a lion roaring and then mixed it with underwater noises. The final result became the weird growl heard in the film, even though it makes no biological sense. And that wasn't the only unusual sound choice. Number 10. The famous dun-dun theme was almost rejected. Composer John Williams played the now iconic two-note theme for Spielberg. Spielberg laughed at first because he thought it was a joke. Williams insisted it was serious, saying the simple rhythm would create fear. Once the music was paired with the shark scenes, it became one of the most terrifying scores in movie history. Spielberg later said it was half the movie. And strange things kept happening to the shark prop. Number 11. Bruce the shark often turned sideways or upside down. The mechanical shark had terrible balance and leaked water constantly. Sometimes while filming, it would suddenly tilt sideways, flip upside down, or drop its jaw open at the wrong moment. The crew said it looked like a drunk washing machine. Filming had to stop every time, and repair teams worked day and night to fix it. The technical problems didn't stop there. Number 12. The filming took so long the crew joked they were hostages of the ocean. The movie was supposed to take 55 days to shoot, but because of constant shark problems and weather issues, it took 159 days. Many crew members became frustrated and exhausted. Spielberg said he feared the studio would fire him because the schedule was out of control. Some extras even quit mid-shoot, saying the ocean made them lose sense of time. And that wasn't the only strange decision made in the name of realism. Number 13. The blood in the water was mostly made of food ingredients. To make the water look thick, bloody, and messy during attack scenes, the crew didn't rely on Hollywood prop blood. Instead, they mixed syrup, red food dye, and strong-smelling fish oil to create a chunky, oily liquid that spread perfectly on camera. But it came with an unexpected side effect. The smell was so intense that it attracted real sharks to the shooting area again and again. Production had to pause multiple times as curious great whites circled the boats, drawn in by the fishy scent. And the final fact shows a fun side to this chaotic shoot. Number 14. The crew threw a fake party called the End of Jaws 3 times. Because the shoot kept getting delayed, the crew celebrated the end of filming several times with fake wrap parties. They would cancel work for a night, drink, dance, and then return the next day only to learn filming still wasn't over. Spielberg later said he never worked on a movie where people celebrated the ending more than the movie itself. And with that, we wrap with these strange stories. Thanks for watching. This classic shark movie was full of unbelievable chaos behind the scenes.